let's focus our attention to, as Maresca, as we're recording, is having his press conference, let's focus our attention to Morecambe tomorrow. Just a couple of things that are coming out very half the press, as they say. So Cesare Casadei will not be in the squad, as you said. It's more or less the same situation as Chilwell in this moment. The plan is not to allow him in the minutes. He's basically said about Chilwell, we're trying to get rid of him. So they won't be featuring tomorrow at all. Ben Chilwell won't be in the team. He doesn't want to avoid an injury, so he's not going to be using Ben Chilwell. The same for Cesare Casadei, will not be in the team tomorrow because there's obviously a very good chance he's leaving the club in the next couple of weeks or so. Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, by the looks of it, is still out injured, so he won't be in the team. So what's your thoughts about Morecambe? I think they're second from bottom in League Two. They're not having the best time in the Football League as it is. They're coming to Stamford Bridge, which will be almost their Wembley, if we're being honest, and that's no disrespect to them, but they'll treat like a final. What's your thoughts about Morecambe?
Yeah, I mean, like I always say about these lower league teams, we can't underestimate them. I always have like almost flashbacks and almost nightmares of this game against Bradford. We played, I think, in 2015 in the FA Cup where we were 2-0 up and then somehow we bottled it and lost 4-2. And we were playing a team of like Gary Cahill, Perez, Mohamed Salah. It's a good team. So we can't underestimate these lower league teams. We do have a really good record in the FA Cup third round. I think we've won 9 of our last 10 FA Cup third round games. We've also been really lucky that 9 out of those 10 were at Stamford Bridge, and the one that we lost was against Man City at the Etihad. It was the one against Norwich, I think. We drew and then played at Stamford Bridge after a replay. Yeah. We have a really good record, but we just can't underestimate teams like Morecambe. We played them, I think, 2021 during COVID in the FA Cup, a certain stage of the tournament, and this was behind closed. I mean, it was no crowds at the time. One fairly comfortable 4-0 goals from Hudson-Odoi, Werner, Havertz and Mount, if my memory serves me right. So a lot has changed at the club since that game, players and having crowds now back in the stadium. I'm expecting a good game, an entertaining game. I still think we'll win relatively comfortably. But like you said, having, the whole shed full of Morecambe fans and having like you said, it's going to be like their big away game of the season. No matter if they draw or lose, win, they're going to treat it like it's a cup final. So it's going to create a good atmosphere for them. And we just got to bring our A game and just get a comfortable result. I don't want a 1-0 win. I want like a good result to give us the confidence then to go into the game against Bournemouth and knowing that these players know how to find the back of the net. And then hopefully we could just go on from there. But yeah, like I said, at the start of the recording, I think this FA Cup game's coming at the right time now. Bit of a cup competition just to take a break from the Premier League and give some of the players that have been playing a lot of football rest and maybe rotate slightly more. You mentioned 2 names there, Chilwell and Casadei not going to feature. No surprises. Bit surprised like Dewsbury-Hall because I feel like I saw a picture of him in training. Do you have a So I don't know if Maresca is just saying that or if my games up in a mind games. Yeah.
And it's more Casadei.
All right. You never know. Mourinho would definitely go there. But yeah, like I said, we just can't underestimate any opponent nowadays.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think they're second from bottom. So, Morecambe haven't had the best start in their domestic league, in League Two, but they will be relishing the opportunity to knock a team like us out, the FA Cup. We can't expect it's going to be a walk in the park. We will have to. I personally would not I wouldn't change the squad too much. I know we've got a game on Tuesday, so we're going to have to rest a lot of our expected team that will play in a week coming up, but we still need to put out a very, very strong squad because I can't remember if it was Barrow or I feel like it was maybe Plymouth. There was a game a couple of years ago and it was at Plymouth. It was a difficult game. And I feel like did we not have extra time as well? I feel like we had a bit of...
It took us extra time and then Alonso scored. It was Azpilicueta or Alonso scored in extra time and then Kepa saved a penalty and last minute was extra time.
Yes, so...
tough game, really tough game.
Exactly. So I'm not saying that will happen again tomorrow, but we just have to be careful not to... we've had a bit of a break from our last game. We haven't had a 4 weeks rest as well. I think the squad haven't played, obviously, with not being in the Carabao Cup. But we have to make sure that whatever team goes out tomorrow, that they hit the ground running. They treat the competition, and I think Maresca needs to do that. He needs to treat the competition with the respect it needs. You know, not putting out the from goalkeeper to striker full of kids. You know, put out a decent squad. But like you said, we beat them 4-0 last time. He's right with your selections or your goal scorers. They were correct. But yeah, I'm confident. I'm just trying to think of a lineup that we will go with. It's going to be tricky now. Now that it is hard.
It's really hard because of what Maresca's just said about the options we have, and bearing in mind we've got Bournemouth on Tuesday. You want to find that balance between making a few changes, but also having a few experienced players in the team.
Well, goalkeeper. Let's start with our goalkeeper. Are we going to go with Jurgensen in goal, or because he tends to play obviously the Conference League games? I would say that Maresca will treat this sort of similar to that, where he'll probably put out almost the B team of Chelsea. So I think he'll start Jurgensen tomorrow.
I'd agree. I'd have Jurgensen in between the sticks.
Now, this is where it gets tricky for me because I was thinking about this before we started recording. Now, I did see a couple online say they would start Reece James in this game, and he has been on the bench the last two games for us. But is this a game you start Reece James, or is this a game you bring him on and give him 20 minutes near the end of the game?
I would start him. I think, like we said in previous recordings, if you're good enough to be on the bench or fit enough to be on the bench, you can start. And Maresca even said he was planning on giving him minutes against Palace, which never happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something to change tactically throughout the game, or if it was just something he said in the pre-match conference, and then that wasn't loyal to his word. But I would have James the right back. I would have Ashampong, and I hate to say it, I would have the Sassy as the other centre back. And then I would have Renato Vega as the left back.
Well, we didn't actually talk about him in the transfer area, but Renato Vega, apparently a bid was rejected from Wolves today for Renato Vega. So whether that they haven't met the valuation or the fact that there is some truth that he might be going to Wolves, obviously they've got a new manager there. They do like their Portuguese players over there as well. So we don't know. But I would I start Vega? I would start. Would I start Vega? Yes, I'd have to, because you want to rest Cucurella. We've just been told Chilwell will not be in the team, so it leaves us no option but to start him, doesn't it? Unless we put one of the younger players in there. But no, it's a good back line. I think I would probably start with Gusto over Reece James. I mean, I want Reece James to succeed so much at Chelsea. I really do. And I'd hate for him to go into this game, start the game and come off injured by half-time. I think I'd give him 20 minutes rather than start him and give him... I think your understanding is he'd get 60 minutes at least if you start him and then he comes off. I'll do the other way round.
Yeah, or would you have Ashampong as the right back and Reece James as the right centre back, which he's played as a couple of times, which requires maybe a year's right.
Yeah, it's a good point. No, I wouldn't start him. I'd keep Ashampong right centre back with... I'd go... I'd like to go with Tosin. I'd actually probably start Levi Colwell, you know. I would. No, I would. I would start Levi Colwell. I know this sounds so strange. They've had a week off. They're going to need some minutes under their belt. You can make changes in the second half. My backline is going to be slightly different. I'm going to go with Gusto, Achiampong, Levi Colwell, Renato Vega.
Choosing you start to mince doesn't get easier. No,
it doesn't. They both need a rest. I mean, we Caicedo definitely needs to rest tomorrow. Enzo, I think, will have to play. The reason I would rest Caicedo is because I think he's more important in the league games than Enzo. Not to say that Enzo isn't, but we would be struggling, I think, if we didn't have Caicedo for Tuesday's game. The question is, Lavia, does he start? Or is he ready to start the games?
I think he's had a few training sessions now. A couple, like he's been in training for a week and a half, 2 weeks. I would have Lavia alongside someone. I don't know yet if it's going to be Chukwuemeka or if it's going to be Enzo Fernandez. But I think for me, you've got to start Lavia tomorrow, give him minutes, and maybe have him come off the bench against Bournemouth, or even maybe start him with Caicedo as a right back. It's TBC, but I think I'll go with Lavia and Chukwuemeka for tomorrow.
I'm going to go Enzo. I'm going to go Enzo Lavia in the midfield. I think we still, like I said, I still think we need to give some of the minutes to the players that will be playing Tuesday. I don't know if we'll. I mean, there hasn't been anything come out of the press conference so far about whether Chukwuemeka is on the radar, like I said, for Dortmund. But it seems like any of those players that are in the shop window might not get a start tomorrow. So yeah, I think that would be my two midfield. The three in front of that midfield, who are you going for from right to left?
So I would have Nkuku as the 10, Joao Felix on one of the sides, and then Tyree George on the other side.
Yep, I'd go with that as well. I'd probably put Felix on the right, Tyree George on the left. I'm trying to think what game it was now. It would have been the Conference League game.
The Shamrock, maybe.
It was Shamrock. It was at Stamford Bridge, and I think Tariq George switched to the right in the second half, and I thought it was more effective on the left. So I'd probably keep him on the left. I thought he was better on that side. And the good thing about that, you can swap them. You could swap all three of those really and play them. They're quite versatile, so they can all play in those areas. So I'd agree with that as the front three. Striker Mark Gu. Surely it's got to be Mark Gu as a striker. Yeah.
It's got to be, after everything we said about competition for Jackson on today's recording, it's got to be Mark Gu. And I expect guys like Harvey Vale and maybe Keanu Dyer to be on the bench for tomorrow as well.
Yeah, Harvey Vale. I think another player that it's just come back to me, Raksaki.
Yeah, I was going to mention his name. Yeah.
I've changed my mind, actually. I think... Yeah, no, I won't change my mind. I'm very indecisive today, you can tell, but I'm going to put him on the bench. Harvey Vale on the bench. We have Nicholas Jackson. I think Cole Palmer I expect to see on the bench as well. I don't want to see any of those players rested. I think they still need minutes. I know we've got a game on a Tuesday, but yeah, there needs to be an intent from Maresca to put things back on track, not just in the FA Cup, but I think for the Premier League as well. And I think some of those players do actually need to step up, regardless of where we are in the league. They still need to step up in the FA Cup, and they need to show Maresca that he can actually trust them. You used the word earlier on about a lack of trust. And I think that goes for some of the players that the Cole Palmers, the Pedro Netos, the Joao Felixes. I think it counts for them as well.
100%, yeah. These guys, there's like opportunities for them to prove themselves, being like, I'm good enough. I can start. Give me minutes against Bournemouth. Give me minutes the following week against Wolves. But if they can't do it against Morecambe, then they're not going to get their chance against the big Premier League teams, are they?
Yeah, 100%. I agree. But prediction-wise, scoreline-wise, are we going big scoreline?
Yeah, I'm going big. I'm going for the same score that we had against them in January 2021. I'm going 4-0. And I'm going to go over Tyree George goal on his first Chelsea goal. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I think 4-0 is a good shout. I think it could be 5. I think we could even go one better. Just thinking about our how well we've attacked at the first start of this period of the season in the league. I think as long as defensively we are solid, which I think we will be against Morecambe, who, as I said, have struggled in the league to score goals. I think attacking wise, Mark Gu will have a brilliant game and score. I think Tariq George can get on the score sheet. I think Joao Felix normally thrives against lesser opposition, so he might score as well. But I think 5-0. I think a 3-0 comfortable half time, score another 2 goals, bring on a Reece James, give him 20 minutes, or if he starts, take him off. But yeah, I think we'll be comfortably into the next round of the FA Cup come Sunday afternoon.
The road to Wembley starts tomorrow, 3 p.m.
The only thing is you're not allowed to go to Wembley if we get to the final. Yeah. I know what happens when you go there with the curse, but no, it should be good. There's some good fixtures. I'm not sure when the draw must be Monday. There must be a game on Monday evening. Let's quickly find out before we wrap up.
I think there is a
Millwall, Dagenham.
Palace. Oh yeah. Of course, that's on Monday, given the South East London club or East London clubs, isn't it?
Yep. So Millwall, Dagenham, I'm sure that the draw would potentially be done before that game, actually. So let's hope we're in the pot. Let's hope we're in our numbers in the bag for the draw. The next round, we can get into the fourth round of the FA Cup. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your predictions. Let us know your lineup as well, and also the transfer speculations. Give us your views and implants there. Don't forget, audio version of the podcast is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Again, hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss an episode. Theo, as always, thank you very much. Been a pleasure. Feels good to be back after the sort of Christmas break. Let's hope for a good positive return to Chelsea in good form and take that into the league on Tuesday as well. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back soon.